Hey y'all, this is Coaches and Travels, and this is my top list of all the roller coasters at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. Busch Gardens Tampa has a total of 9 coasters, with the 10th one coming in spring of 2024. Before I start, I want to give a quick honorable mention to Sand Serpent. It got dismantled earlier this summer in 2023, and of course it won't be part of this list because it doesn't exist anymore. So let's get started. At number 9 is Air Grover. Air Grover is your kiddie coaster. It is pretty much the least intense coaster in the park, so it makes sense for this to be at the bottom. There's really nothing much to say here. It's at the bottom where it belongs, but it's still a good ride for kids. Number 8 is Scorpion. Scorpion is one of the first coasters that came to Busch Gardens Tampa. It's definitely showing its age. It's still a good coaster with G-force and all that good stuff, but it's getting a bit janky now. Not rough, but shaky. Very, very shaky. To be honest with you, and this may be an unpopular opinion, I wouldn't mind if they eventually get rid of Scorpion. In my opinion, it doesn't have the iconic status of Loch Ness Monster, which is getting a total refurb at the moment, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about Scorpion in the comments. Number 7 is Cobra's Curse. Now, Cobra's Curse, I think this is a very good family coaster. Of course, it's not super thrilling because it's a family coaster, but it does a lot of things right. I like that it does multiple things. You know, it has the backward part and then it has like a spinning part, even though I wish the spinning could have been a little bit better. But for the variety it brings, I think it's a pretty solid coaster. Number 6 is Kumba. If it wasn't for its roughness, Kumba would be much higher on the list. But you know, this is one of the earlier coasters they had, one of the first big coasters that came to Busch Gardens Tampa, and it's definitely showing its age. A lot of people want to say that Kumba is not that rough, but I'm gonna tell you, Kumba has gotten rough, and if it takes a certain way to ride Kumba in order to not be as rough, then yeah, it needs some work done. And unlike Scorpion, I think Kumba is iconic enough for it to stay, so hopefully we'll hear some news about Kumba getting refurbished in the future. Who knows? Number 5 is Tigris. And the main reason why Tigris is above Kumba is because it's significantly smoother. Tigris is a premier ride skyrocket too, and some people love it, some people hate it. I am part of the love crew. I enjoy the short yet forceful ride. The only thing I don't like are the comfort collars. If they got rid of them, the ride would be so much better because it really doesn't need them. But I digress. Tigris is still a solid ride and it deserved the number 5 spot. Number 4 is Sheikra. And Shikra is, to me, one of the better coasters here at Busch Gardens. I haven't rode any other dive coasters except Shikra, but for now, I mean, that's all I really need. Shikra does its job as a dive coaster. I like that the second dive, it goes into like a tunnel, and I like the splash around. I just like the whole entire area because it feels like Shikra was made for that area. It was like specifically designed for Shikra. And I like that the splashdown is like a 2-in-1 attraction, especially on those hot Florida days. That splashdown would absolutely come in handy. It's a great alternative if you don't want to wait in line, you know, to get in a ride to get wet. So very solid ride. Number 3 is Cheetah Hunt. Now, Cheetah Hunt may not be as intense as the coasters that's below it. However, it does not matter because Cheetah Hunt is just purely a fun ride. And that's really all it needs to be. It has a very nice starter launch, and then I like the launch that goes up to the tallest point. And you know what? A lot of people don't talk about that first drop, which I think is one of the more underrated drops out there. The second half is very fun, especially when you're zigzagging through the water, when the water works. But recently the water has been working ever since March or earlier this year. So Cheetah Hunt overall is just a fun ride. It's very popular. It has one of the longest lines in the park, and it's apparent because it's a great ride by Intamin. It may not be as intense as the other Blitz coasters out there, but it doesn't need to be. Number 2 is Montu. And for its age, I am just impressed on how smooth it is and how intense it is, especially in the back row. Back row is probably one of the best rows outside of the front. The front gives you views and you give some forces, but that back row, when you're going down that back wing, oh my goodness. It's definitely potential for gray out moments right there, especially at the bottom part of that back wing. And the good thing is the lines are not that long, so you can get repeat rides over and over. In my opinion, this is one of the better inverts out there. It's a very complete looping coaster. Number 1 is Iron Gwazi. And yep, it makes sense that Iron Gwazi is number 1. It's the tallest, the fastest, the pacing is insane, the airtime is ridiculous. Everything about this ride is just great. Everyone knows Iron Gwazi is one of the best coasters out there, even if you don't think Iron Gwazi is the number 1 coaster out there. And I know there's some Steve fans out there that may think otherwise, but regardless of what you think, Iron Gwazi is high up there on your list, if not number 1. And this is my list for the top coasters at Busch Gardens Tampa. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to like if you like this video and subscribe for more videos like this. Until next time.